we go. Well, still a hard transition. I'm sorry. I will figure this out. Hi, good evening, Gotham. I'm back. I'm back. 2 nights in a row. 2 nights in a row of this. Pretty wild stuff. I didn't really do a lot of announcing. Usually I drop this in other Discords and whatever, so might be a small group of us tonight, but that's okay. That's all right. Lucha Johnny, that was an insane AEW Dynamite. It was. And in fact, I did not see that coming with Samoa Joe coming out. Spoiler alert, Samoa Joe won. He beat him today. He beat Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. So I now I feel like Tony Schiavone back when he said Mankind beat him. Beat The Rock. That was a big deal back then. All right, hang on. Everyone, I'm just going to copy this link here. I'm going to share it in the Discords now, and then we'll just get right into it, right? Might as well. Let's see what we got here. We got general chat. Hang on. Let's see what we got here. We'll do that one, and we'll do a little Geek Dad life share. All right. Let's see if this brings in some folks. All right. Okay, everyone. Let's say hi to you all, and let me know how you're feeling after last night. I tell you, man, I was still revved up after. I was so tired, but my brain kept going, man, we got so much good stuff. But yeah, I digest. Let me get to the chat here. Gotham Stalker, you found Wave 3 this weekend too. Awesome. I love it. Derek Hoover, yes, get your set. Bot Boy versus Lucha Johnny. Sam Rock, how's it going? Derpy Entertainment, Matt Bush, Vicman de Santiago, Kayla Silver, hey dollars, hey, how's it? Mike Hext, he's also here. Whoop. Listen, James Gunn snapped the whole universe. He did, and he did an amazing job. Justin Nicolosi is also here, is with us as well. Yeah. It's just me tonight, so you know what that means. It's me and you being the chat. We're going to hang out. We're going to open some superpowers. I'm sure everybody knows I got myself some Dick. I got myself some Deathstroke. And got some Wowo. I did get 2 of each. I've been doing that with all of it, with all the superpowers line, except for the vehicles, because the vehicles come in a nice box. So I can keep the boxes all nice and neat. But these I've been buying and keeping all in package because I just love the packaging so much. And for $9.99 a pop, I mean, why not get 2? Nothing wrong with that at all. Thunderhouse Design, welcome. Ryan B, yes. Good evening, all. Love superpowers. Me too. Yes, you heard it here first. Doell got some. I got 2. Kayla. Come on. Let's talk to me. Tell me, everyone, as I open these, tell me what you think of the slate. I know we didn't get to really acknowledge the chat much last night until we started doing some fan casting, but I would love to hear what you guys are most excited about. What are you not excited about? Is there something that was listed that you're I kind of wish for something else? Is there anything that you would like recommendations on, as far as just reading and maybe doing some pickups from your local comic store? Anything like that to kind of just help get you going. And what I loved about also last night, I was saying last night too, James Gunn was talking about all these comic creators and specific comics. And I love that Matt Reeves did that too. And I don't know if anyone remembers, it's like stuck in my head. It is absolutely stuck in my brain. The whole thing with when Reeves was announcing and first talking about the Batman during DC Fandom in 2020. And he was like, I'm inspired by Batman Year One. I'm inspired by Batman Ego, and I'm inspired by Batman The Long Halloween. And it really got people kind of looking the stuff up and reading it. And, and James Gunn did it again. Apparently, I was reading on Twitter, people were saying, like, I can't find that Supergirl book. It's sold out everywhere. So if it is starting to sell out, don't forget to hit your local comic store. Remember, these are all independent stores. It's not like Walmart or Amazon that are owned by these billionaires. These are just small shop owners, small independent businesses. All these comic shops are. Go to them, and if they don't have the comics or the trades that you're looking for, they will order them in, because a lot of the time you can still order trade paperbacks sometimes years after their release. So be sure to go and check that out. Oh man, I don't know where that card went. It just fell between comic books. I'm not even kidding. How does that even happen? Oh well, we'll do that with Deathstroke. Let's take a look here. We got Hank Bush. Welcome. I love superpowers. Big fan, by the way, from North Texas. Oh, well, welcome. You're hanging out in Canada. We're a long way from each other, and I'm happy that you're here to hang out with us. You're right. That's awesome. Derek, unsheath it. I am unsheathing that dick. I love Dick Grayson. As we all know, we're all big Bat family ones here. Matt Bush seems to like a lot of Waller. You know what? The woman they casted for it, she's amazing, and the character's amazing. And if anyone has ever watched Justice League Unlimited, if you don't know the comics that well, and you don't know really much about Amanda Waller than outside of what we saw in Suicide Squad and The Suicide Squad and from Peacemaker, which, to be honest, is actually quite a lot of Amanda Waller, watch Justice League Unlimited. The Bruce Timm verse of the DC animated world. And he did a lot with Amanda Waller and made her, really well known. I feel like he really put her on the map with a younger audience that may not necessarily be reading comics. Stephen Lawrence, welcome. Thank you for hanging out tonight. Dude, legit love Son of Batman. Thanks again for the recommendation. Got me into a wormhole today of digging into the back catalog. Now going to watch some DC animated in chronological order. Awesome. Dude, have fun. It is so much fun. Yes. I can't wait. Keep us posted. Let you always leave a comment. Stop back in here next week. Let us know what you all dove into. I'd love to see your reactions to it. Right? Awesome. Hank, I'm very skeptical about what James Gunn has planned. I hope they keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. At least give that to me. Same page. I was, if there's one thing the previous regime nailed, it was the casting. Man, right? It's hard to see these actors and actresses go, because you know that there's so much more potential, and we only scratch the surface of what they can do. So I'm with you, and from the sounds of it, that door is still wide open for her to come back. So no one has said she's not coming back. She's like the only one where no one has said anything. So we'll find out, and I love it. Derek, dude, you got to check out everything. Oh, this is for Steve Lawrence. Yeah, between Flashpoint Paradox and Apocalypse War. Good call. That's a great recommendation. Thunderhouse Design with more recommendations. Steven, I think there's a sequel, that Batman versus Robin, all based on Morrison's stories from the comics. Yes, that does exist. Please check that out. That's the list I have. Awesome. Silver K. Why am I just reading it like that? I know you're Kayla. What am I doing? Yes. RXGXB, yo, welcome. Thank you for hanging out. Shiny Plastic People, no post AEW break. No time. I got no time for a post. I gotta go right back into it. I ride that high from work to wrestling to this, and I love it. And I love AEW as well. God, that was such a great show tonight. Toy Art, especially with the Batman final. Yes. Yes. That for those who don't know what we're talking about with toy art, he's talking about the epilogue episode of Justice League Unlimited, that first season. So good. Cougar Magala Cuddy. Oh, I hope I said that right. I hope I didn't butcher that. Yo, welcome. Thank you for hanging out. Thunderhouse design. Waller is a great way to intro so many characters. Agreed. She touches many corners of the DCU and always has in the comics and cartoons. Correct. She's that like Eye of Sauron in a way. She wants to be in control. She has no trust for superpowers. She's kind of like the government official of Lex Luthor in a way, right? But she's a little more. She's not as hands-on as Lex Luthor, if that makes sense. So she likes to keep tabs on everybody, and I think Luthor is so self-contained, and Waller is not. So that's where the difference really goes. So she can see the broader picture, and Luthor is a lot more focused on a certain Kryptonian, as we all know. Lucha Johnny, I'm most interested in to see how it all connects, where it all goes with it, and what he does with the B, C, and D tier characters he's using. We all are, and we all have to be patient. It's called Gods and Monsters. We're getting gods and we're getting monsters. It's and like Troy pointed out too last night, right? Like we're going far back into the past and we're getting characters from the future. So this will all like there's a timeline happening here too, which I'm very, very interested to see where it goes. Vicman de Santiago, I kind of feel that something was left out, but we'll see. Love the comics references. Me too. He said there was stuff that was left out. I believe during the press conference, there was going to be things part of chapter 1 that, hang on, there were part of chapter 1 that were not announced. Got to gather my bearings here. Ryan B. Ryan, do you have to go to an online Canadian comic book store? I don't have any shops near me and I always have to order online. No. I live downtown Vancouver. I've got one that's just a walk away from me. It is actually right across from the studio. So when we used to be at the studio before, pre-COVID, every Wednesday used to be a Wednesday warrior. I could just go across the street and get my comics. If we were working on something, I could be like, hey, go check this out. And, the crew would just go and get comics from there all the time. I'm really curious to see if sales has changed since COVID. I'm sure they have, but mine's just a walk away, just a short walk. And yeah, I don't know. It's a pretty good store. They take care of me. Sam Rock, DC animated movies are amazing. Agreed. They do. If there's one thing DC does better, I think, than not even just other comic book stuff, it's just animation in general. They've always you could throw it be challenged with the Super Friends and all that. That's a product of its time. That's an example of that statement. Matt Bush, all for TV and movies being connected, but feel like movies should stand on their own and should be able to follow the plot without seeing a TV show, i.e. Green Lantern HBO Max show setting up a big bad. Okay, I am with you on that to a point. Because right now with me, as far as like even the MCU stuff is concerned, I feel like I shouldn't have to see every movie for the 90-second stinger at the end that sets up the next movie. And I barely have seen any of the latest phase in the theater. I've just kind of been waiting for Disney Plus, to be honest. And I actually don't know how they're going to balance it. And you have to time it right too, because now even Star Wars is doing that whole thing with Disney Plus and everything interconnecting. And I am really not sure if everyone's watching Book of Boba Fett like they're watching Mandalorian. And are people going to watch Ahsoka? with as much enthusiasm as Mandalorian. And I guess we'll find out with this as well. Are people going to dive into Waller, or even like there's still this weird stigma, especially with North American audiences, Canada, States included, right? That whole stigma of animations for kids. So how many people are going to ignore that first thing to drop, which is going to be animated? Should be interesting to see what happens there. So how they're going to, if your introduction is going to be animation, I think a lot of people aren't going to watch it because there's still that cartoons are for kids, which of course we know as the Gotham City Tonight audience and crew here that is not true. Toy art, I don't know. I'm not a big fan. I'm not big on Aquamoa. Neither am I. But you know what? The first movie made over $1 billion worldwide. I expect the sequel to do just as well. Also, it sounds like maybe he's not playing Lobo. That would kind of bum me out. I would love that. RXGXB. Very excited for The Authority. I am also very excited for The Authority because I did not see that coming. I loved it. What a shock. I swear when he announced it, my jaw must have just been what? But that's what makes it fun, right? Matt Bush, sad that Gunn was too busy for a second season of Peacemaker. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know yet. Or maybe, unless he announced it and I missed it somewhere. There was a lot of articles from a lot of different people that came out yesterday, and I still haven't had a chance to check all of them out. Chuckle shirt your stream machine. Just this week. All right. That's yeah. I'm going to be sleeping tomorrow night and Friday night and probably through the weekend. Derek Hoover, yes, regarding epilogue, right? Everyone check it out. If you have HBO Max, just put that episode in. You get everything. You get Waller, you get Batman Beyond, you get Batman. It's a very touching, beautiful epilogue. Hank, I like the sound of what James Gunn has planned for the Bat family, but I only think it will work if it's somewhat dark and gritty. I agree, but I think there's clearly gonna be some light moments. But he even said, like, he's Damian is a murdering psychopath tween, right? So if that's his description of it, maybe I got it here. I'm gonna see if I can find. Hang on. I think I have it on my phone. There's a very specific thing he says, and I think that this tells us exactly the tone that it's going to be. Sorry. My apologies, everyone. Brave and the Bold. He goes, yeah, that's what it is. He goes, Damien, who's a little son of a bitch, a murderous tween raised by assassin. It's a very strange father and son story. If you've got a murderous tween, this show has to be somewhat dark. It's got to be somewhat gritty. We're dealing with the League of Assassins. And Lexi made a post today too. She hopes that she keeps that they cast someone of mixed race at the very least for Damien. And I absolutely agree, right? The Al Ghouls ain't white. So Damien shouldn't really be either. Derek Hoover, if Gunn pulls off everything he plans with DC, his hat trick is rebooting Ernest somehow. Oh, man. Sorry, I got to stay on brand. Yeah. Oh, man. Could you imagine? And he cast John Cena or Batista. RXGXB. I think The Authority fits in very well with Gunn's aesthetic, quirky personalities a la Peacemaker. Agreed. Bring in Planetary as well. If they're ever going to do more Wildstorm, Planetary, please. Daniel Balforth. Oh no, I'm late. It's okay. It's okay to be late. We're talking about last night's news. We're hanging out. We're opening toys, right? We're having the best time. So don't worry. Let me know what you think, Daniel. What did you think of yesterday's big announcements? What's your favorites? Toy art. I really want to pop into Cherry Bomb Toys in Vancouver. Well, quick note on that. You don't want to go to Vancouver to go to Cherry Bomb Toys. You want to fly to Victoria. Or if you're going to fly to Vancouver, you're going to have to hop onto the ferry and head over to the island. And because that's where Cherry Bomb Toys is. It's a toy museum and toy store. I'm not even kidding. And the place is amazing. B, who is the owner, stand-up dude. Great guy. I love him. Justin Nicolosi. I love HBO Max has all the DC animated movies. I love that too. Ryan B. In Gunn, I trust. I hope they should start making coins. I'm excited for everything, but I'm mostly anticipating what Superman will be like. Try not to get too excited. It feels like a while away. It Here's what's funny is that I was saying it feels like a while away, but it's like waiting. Like let's say they just announced a new hot toy today. It's going to come out and get released around the same time as this movie. If you pre-ordered anything from Hasbro, same deal. I think of it like pre-ordering toys. We have now pre-ordered a Superman movie, and it's going to just take some time to get here. That's all. That's all. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, you haven't. Yes, more dick jokes, but I'm all for it. Daniel, with the success of Top Gun Maverick, calling it now Glenn Powell as Hal Jordan. Dude, why not? Why not? I am all for it. Toy Art, I just watched the Super Sons animated flick. That was fun. You know what? I still haven't seen it. Don't tell Lexi. She'll come after me. Shiny Plastic People. DC characters have been flexible and able to roll with the times. It's not how we have Super Friends, JLU, and Brand, and Branch, and I think it's supposed to be and Brave and the Bold, and they are great. Agreed. And it's kind of funny. And we've seen the reboots happen too, all within like the comic books, right? Like all the way from but there's always like this certain feeling, this certain aesthetic that is like Superman in all of them. So even as he progresses and evolves, we still recognize Superman as Superman. And I think and same with Green Arrow. And I think what's funny is like sometimes these characters change to a point where it becomes the new status quo. Neil Adams was very key for that, right? With Hal Jordan, with Green Arrow, and John Stewart. He sometimes was able to hit a reset button and make things the new status quo. So maybe it'll happen again. We'll find out, right? It'll probably happen a lot with those B-list characters. I mean, James Gunn did it with Guardians, right? So we'll find out. Ryan B. Sorry, I was wondering if you had any online Canadian comic shops you could recommend. Oof, I do not. I would have to ask someone because I don't order from online, so I don't know. I'm so sorry, Ryan B. If I can find some, also let me know what province you're in. I might be able to help you out there too, because there's amazing stories in Saskatoon, and that's the only one I could think of. They're a great store, and the owners are amazing. And it's a beautiful store. I believe it gets nominated like for awards like every year. It's so good. Yeah, good call on Glenn Powell. Toy Art. Yes, my mom and her partner watch Boba Fett, and they're super casual. I think it'll be fine. Right. Yep. Agreed. And that's how it should be, anyways. Like the target audience for these things, believe it or not, is not even us. It's gonna be for those filthy casuals who just want to watch something cool. That's who all of this is going to target to at the end of the day, which is why he kept saying, storytelling is king. And I absolutely agree. Right. Matt Bush, like I had to rush watch WandaVision so I could follow the Doctor Strange movie. And even then I felt like they didn't touch upon WandaVision enough in that movie. Doctor Strange is a weird movie. Shiny Plastic People. I think Peacemaker season 2 is happening, just a little later in time. I agree with that. Only because I'm sure he he can announce things anyways, and since this happened, everything can change. Derek, I really hope they can build to introducing Icon. He's not utilized enough. Icon, and you know what? Bring in Milestone. Just bring in the Milestone universe. Bring in some of those characters. Why the hell not? I would love to see it. Mike Davis, thanks for hanging out. Hey, Doell, your Wolverine photo shoot was epic. Thank you. That's the reason why I shaved. You can follow Insta Dave W on Instagram. You can see all his photos of like me, Brandon. My buddy Steve has done some as Deadpool. We did some with I did some as Batman with him like a couple of years ago. You can see those, or you can just check out my Instagram. I got a couple there posted as well. Not everything yet. I'm kind of pacing things out because Dave's posting them. He's super excited. I want to direct traffic to his photography. It's amazing stuff. Thunderhouse design. Not to go way off topic, Doell, but not to go way off topic, but Doell, did you see the N1 Mando Starfighter was pipelined today by Hasbro? Yes, I watched the shit out of that this morning. I have this weird. We all know, right? The Star Wars Hasbro team, they try really hard, but something always feels off when you watch them, and I can't even put my finger on it anymore. And the amount of like 3.75 legacy scale clone troopers we get is insane. And they just announced we're getting more of them, and they're making new bucks for them. And I'm just like, why? Do you know how many we have? So many. Move on. If you're going to make new bucks for something, give us Pelimoto, Carson Teva. Look at this. I'm a sad comment. You made me a sad comment, Thunderhausen. Oh, I'm going to call you Thunderhausen. I like that. That sounds better. Very nice. Very evil. Sam Rock, I wish they would release HBO Max in Canada. Well, we got Crave, and a lot of the stuff you can find. I know it sucks having to bounce around streaming, but everything is somewhere. That sounds really deep. I swear. I'm not stoned or anything, but yes, everything is everywhere, man. Thunderhausen, would love to see them include Milestone. Absolutely. Me too. Derek Hoover. Also, any mention of Batmite has me only picturing Steve Heitner in the role. He would make a great fairy in Eurotrip. Oh, dude. Okay, so Batmite. So when you're talking about, it's crazy how you can go from like something like Damien, Killer Assassin Tween, to Batmite, because those are two totally different vibes. Depending on how they do it, again, we don't know, but I'm for it. Let's bring it on. Sal Sanchez. First off, thanks for hanging out, Sal. I am most excited for Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing is so James Gunn as well, and I am also very excited. I think it's I think Animal Man and Swamp Thing from New 52 were another, like, those were big standouts, and those things could blend into each other. You could make it happen. Swamp Thing was another game-changing comic. So I say, bring it. I honestly can't wait for Swamp Thing. Plus, the toys and designs are going to be really, really cool. Vicman de Santiago. Green Lantern show looks like men in black stuff. So far, that's what it sounds like, right? Like, and again, like, that's what kind of the Green Lantern Corps is, kind of that. They are that, they're cops. They're space cops. But what's great about selling a story, because he said, expect to see other characters. Not, and again, too, like, you're going to have corrupt cops. And who's one of the biggest, most corrupt cops of them all in comics? Sinestro. So, that's going to make things for some very interesting and topical storytelling. So I'm all for that. And I love Sinestro. He is such an interesting character. Again, like, when the villains are done right, they're just done right. Thunderhausen, True Detective is nothing like Men in Black. I don't think that's the vibe they're going to be going for. Well, you know what? We don't even know yet, but I get where Vickman's coming from, and the because we're going to be dealing with aliens and arrests. I don't think they're going to hire Will Smith to play Jon Stewart. Or they might. What do I know? Justin Tung, I'm just so pumped to see Lanterns. But can we please give Kyle his due for once? I can totally see Kyle happening at some point. Guy Gardner as well. I can see all of them. All of them. There was two others that came during the New 52 era. Gosh. Okay. Somebody help me out. And there's Jade as well, right? Bring them all in. It's gonna be great. Derek, if you don't go with Cena, Simon Rex is Ernest. Yes, he really pulled it off in a short ass movie sketch. Oh, dude, Simon Rex is Hal Jordan. Just saying, yeah, dude, I'm open to anything at this point. We're so early on in all this, but this is super fun. Sam Rock, Captain Comics is a good app. Oh, here you go. Yeah, website to use to buy online in Canada. There you go. Capt Can. Yes, check that out. Right. So be sure. Daniel. Yeah. It's amazing how DC animated got it so right, yet they couldn't do it in live action. Love all the animated stuff. You know what it is? The people that work on the animated stuff, they understand that the characters are bigger than themselves, and they're not trying to do a hot take of what they think these characters should be. So they also get overlooked because they work in animation. And there was the stigma there still is to a point. I mean, Dave Filoni's kind of broken that ceiling a bit, where it's like, if you work in animation, you're an animation person. Like, that's different. You don't cross that line, to live action, to movies. You're a cartoon writer. It just doesn't work that way, right? And that's slowly starting to change. But that's a big part of it, is thanks to Dave Filoni. And could you imagine if Paul Dini got involved in any of this, or Alan Burnett, like any of those, like Batman animated series writers? Like, they get it. They understand all these characters. Let's get him in there, especially Paul Dini. Ryan B, I'm in Ontario. I know the Mutant Beaver, Cosmic Comics, and the Canadian Comic Bin, but it can be tough finding back issues. Oh, okay. There is a store. Sorry, I'm going to keep bringing up Saskatoon. That's where I grew up. And when I go back to Saskatoon, these are the comic shops I go to. I love them. And I am going to recommend, I don't know if they necessarily have an online store, but let's say you know what you're looking for. You could call the store called Collector's Edge. And he's got so many back issues. Like, imagine a giant, like, basement floor of a store, and it's nothing but back issues. That's all it is. He knows where everything is, or he's got staff that knows where everything is too. So, you know what? If you're looking for back issues, that's where to go. When I go to Saskatoon, like, that store is like my guy, and he's who I originally bought comics from. When I was a kid, right? He's that same guy. He ran Tramps, he ran all that stuff. So last time I was there, like, this is what I picked up, right? I picked up Lobo's Back, issue 1, issue 2. I picked up some Alpha Flight, where they're fighting in West Edmonton Mall. How cool is that? Like, we all love it when characters fight in Canada in locations that we know and that they exist in. And as you know, I like to collect Lois Lane comics. So again, he's got comics back from like the 60s. This is what I all picked up at around Christmas time, right? Like, this is what it is, like a dangerous place if you're going to go do some impulse buying. So I will recommend Collector's Edge at any time. It is definitely one of my favorite places to shop. Toy art. There's no aliens in the Star Wars line. It's a drag. Dude, there's no Pelimoto. There's no Madame Garza. Gosh. Derek, yeah, dude, for real. You're watching MCU kickoff while watching DC struggle, then DC animated is kicking ass. You find yourself screaming, do that. Yes, dude, every time. And here's the funny thing, too. It's like, and on the opposite end of that, so they kill off Captain America. They kill off Iron Man in the movies. Why are they not getting animated series? Why are we not getting a Captain America animated series? You could have it even be like MCU adjacent. Have it be take place in World War II. Or just anything. It just bugs me so much. Just don't get me started. Toy art. If they do Batmite like Evan Dorgan did it. Oh my gosh, I can't read tonight. If they do Batmite like Evan Dorgan did then, it would really rip. Want to go for a rip? Sorry, I love that. I branded 3G. Thank you for coming out. Nice seeing you here again. When they cast Nightwing, they better make sure he has the right assets. Absolutely agree. I think it's. I don't know how you do the casting call for Great Butt, but he needs great butt. Absolutely agree. Justin. Hey, Justin. I'm so happy they changed the direction of Green Lantern. I was thinking it should be like True Detective. Sure. Yeah. Again, like with all this stuff is just announced. I mean, all of these are like all good, fair takes, right? Payne's Toy Samples, Evening Doell. Yes. Welcome. Thank you for hanging out. Justin, they're going for a real detective story, HBO style. Again, all for it. And I wonder too if what the rating on that show will be. I'm super curious. Krista Horty, thank you for being here. Yeah, I want a planetary series. Agreed. I wouldn't mind that. Here we go. Thank you. Justin's coming in for the save. Simon Baz, Jessica Cruz. Bring them all in. Correct. Yep. You guys are all correct. Those are the two I was thinking of. Bring them in. I'm all for it. Right? Justin with the fans answer. Yes. Right. You guys are amazing. I'm here. I'm so happy that you guys are here in the chat. Geek Strong. Dude, thank you for coming and hanging out. Let us know what you're looking forward to. Right? Derek Hoover. Well, if they got Will Smith, he'd certainly slap the shit out of Sinestro. Yeah, he would. I can't believe it's almost been a year since that happened. I think I'm just spitting everywhere now. You got me so excited. Cast Jade Cargill as Lantern Jade. Yes. And here's the other thing, too. How come I hope she does an inspired Jade Lantern, Lantern Jade outfit for a pay-per-view. I mean, she's got it at some point, right? She's done it, character's name is Jade. Right? You'd think so. Just you got a good memory. I find that as soon as the camera turns on, I see it's going live. I can't remember nothing. Andrew read a lot of Green Lantern. Dude. Okay, I love, like, when Green Lantern's good, it is so good. Like, so good. I just bought the trade of the 90s Green Lantern, so when they first bring in Kyle. I know that gets a little controversial with the fridging at some point. But I'm gonna read it. Go in. It's been so long. Thunderhausen. I was still typing Simon when you already had both names. You gotta be quick, man. You gotta be quick. Justin, you could still type it and mention the first appearance for Simon was in a Free Comic Book Day issue. For those who don't know, Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday in May, and that's when Marvel and DC both kind of go in and start launching new titles, maybe introduce new characters, and or start or kick off events. And that's usually when that happens. right? Nowhere Comics is also a good website. They're located in Toronto. That's for you, Ryan. Derek, didn't Jessica Cruz initially get stuck with the Earth 3 Voltrum ring? Then she became a GL proper. I believe that was the case. Oh, dudes. Okay. So what if we need Earth 2? We need Earth 2 at some point. I want a crime syndicate. I want to see a live action theatrical crime syndicate. Right? Right. Let's see here. DC's RXGXB, DC's animated movies. I've always been the go-to stuff for DC content in general. Agreed. If I'm not reading comics, I would rather watch the animation. Yeah, and meanwhile, Marvel is making a shot at taking a shot at an animated movies. You know what though? Spider-Verse is good, but I'm biased. You know what? What am I supposed to do? Derek, you do the casting call for Great Butt, and you got to say, "Gonna need that cake." Absolutely. Love the fan service. Thunderhausen. You can use the code. There you go. Right. I'm not even gonna try and read that, but there you go. For anyone who's even watching and you see all this on the screen here and you're from Canada, you need to order your stuff. They've got it, right? Batman 89, welcome. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Right? Jade as Jay, don't threaten me with a good time. Yeah, right, Derek? I'm with you. Krista Hardy, Swamp Thing may be the most anticipated announcement yesterday, but I'm looking forward to it all. I think between Swamp Thing and Superman and Lanterns, Anthem and Paradise Lost. That's and Supergirl as well. And gosh, there's so much that was announced, guys. And it all comes clicking in. Like Booster Gold, I'm excited about that as well. Payne's toy samples. I did manage to get Deathstroke and Wonder Woman last night. Right, last night. Now just got to get some clamshells for my wall display. Yeah, dude, this Deathstroke is amazing. This one feels like I went back in time and bought a Superpowers one, because even if you go look at this Nightwing, he's got a still pretty bulky top. They should have. I kind of wish they used the body from the Flash for Nightwing. But this is amazing. This is so good. This is so good. Guys, if you're sleeping on Superpowers, stop doing it. Buy them all. Buy everything you find. Heard a rumor today that Gunn was talking to Jason Mangold to direct Swamp Thing. Yeah, I saw that rumor going around too. Everything's a rumor. But I noticed James Gunn didn't shut that one down right away. Usually when a rumor starts, he'll shut it down. So there might be some truth to it. Derek Hoover, if they bring in Kyle, let's maybe hard tweak the origin. No appliances involved, please. Absolutely. I'm with you, right? And Crime Syndicate is a must. Hot take. Hot take. This is my very first hot take on this show. Zack Snyder should direct a Crime Syndicate movie. All right. Jack Nicolosi, if you're in Orlando again, stop by Acme Superstores, Gods and Monsters, and Mike's Comics. You will not be disappointed in terms of collectibles and comics. I feel like I went to one of those last time I was there, and I would have to talk to Craig to find out which one it was. And the prices were all over the board. But it's funny, it's right here. But when I was there in Florida, I did buy this dude. This was way back when. Beautiful vac metal finish on him. That's how steel should be made. I would love for them to bring in steel at some point as well. Derek Hoover, regarding Marvel animated movies, more their efforts to the mid to late 2000s, except for their television efforts, those weren't too shabby. Spectacular Spider-Man comes to mind. The Avengers cartoon they did have was pretty good, but I think that's more 2010. And actually, I think, now that I think about it, I think Spectacular Spider-Man was also around 2010. Bane's Nightwing got Nightwing last week. Awesome. I'm glad everyone's finding them, and I'm glad that like superpowers, like, you know how it's like anyone announces like it's going to be a Walmart exclusive for like any toy line, and we all go no because they get to be so hard to find. I'm so happy that these are not hard to find. In fact, usually when he does a gold label as well, whether it's a Toys R Us exclusive or Target exclusive, or a Walmart exclusive for their multiverse line, they seem to be pretty easy to find as well, or an Amazon exclusive, right? Just exclusive. The McFarlane exclusives, they make them pretty available, and I think that's pretty awesome. Ryan B, what do you think the bat suit design will be like? I love gray and blue with the yellow belt and oval symbol. Okay, so agreed. That is my favorite suit. I love the superpower suit, that early 80s suit, maybe because I feel like that's my Batman. I was also hoping that Pattinson would wear that suit or something similar. But now that this is happening, I'm with you. This might be a better fit for this, for the James Gunn verse. So I'm not, as long as someone does it, I will be happy, because then that means we get more toys of it. That's what we want at the end of the day. Harry Dempsey, I know you didn't have much to do with it as Lexi, but I would love to take the time to blame Gotham City tonight as a whole for the amount of Imaginext eBay purchases coming in. That is all Lexi. Harry, make sure that you send us a photo through, like, just DM us on like Instagram or whatever when your purchases come in, because yeah, we're gonna get into it. Derek, that's the Deathstroke we deserved. Agreed. Serious, folks, don't sleep on that Deathstroke. Chris, I am buying all superpowers. Still haven't found Deathstroke and Wonder Woman. Bring on the Batmobile. I cannot wait for that Batmobile. I have the old one there on the shelf. You can't see it because it's past that. But I love the Superpowers Batmobile, and there's something about that Superpowers vehicle blue, which they nailed on the Batwing. The Batwing and that classic Batmobile match perfect. I love it. The 80s experience. Thanks for coming out here, hanging out tonight. Hey, Xbox was acting up late, so I'm late. Heard anything about DC lately? Couple things here and there. Couple things. Shiny Plastic People, my Superpowers Wave 3 is supposed to be delivered tomorrow. Fantastic. Hopefully if you're collecting them and you're keeping them on card, I hope your cards arrive safely, because we know what Walmart can be like. Derek Hoover, Snyder doing the Crime Syndicate. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm just throwing it out there. That's Brandon 3G. I'm excited for the new things I have heard out of like Authority and Creature Commandos new exposure. Yes. And what's great is that the creators of Creature Commandos, they were all over Twitter today. They've got to be floored, because when they just made it, they were just throwing things against the wall, and it connected clearly with James Gunn, and now we're getting them. I think that's so cool. Chris Doherty, is that Total Justice Steel? It is not. This is from the Kenner. It is Kenner, but this is from the Man of Steel line. This is the deluxe Steel figure. The other one did not have. It was just painted gray. It didn't have the vac metal. I wanted the deluxe one because it was shiny. My boy Brandon from BC DeLorean and Other Movie Cars. We will have to see how James Mangold does with Indy. That could make or break him, right? That's a fair point. But Indy will be fine. Come on. They got to get this one. They have to. This is going to be the last Indiana Jones movie. They have to get it right. Okay. I digest. Shiny plastic people. I can't find Gold Label Eradicator to save my life. He'll show up. He'll show up. I feel like it. Wow, Matt Bush is eluding him too. Very interesting. Okay. All right. I loathe Walmart, but that's been pretty good about superpowers availability, even shockingly well in central Illinois. All too often, it becomes a wasteland here. You know what? It's funny. Like Canada, we get things kind of last. However, what's been really crazy is like, we got the storage shell turtles right away. I was able to find these. I don't even know if I know GameStop in Canada carries superpowers as well. So we do have two different places we can go to get this stuff. I even think some comic shops are starting to get them. So I find it crazy that these are more widely available in Canada than they are in the States. So pretty crazy. Justin, I'm patiently waiting for my new Keaton Batman figure. Which one are you like, did you buy? Oh no, you're just waiting for the new one in general. Gotcha. I'm with you. Derek, the Batwing pair perfectly with the OG Batmobile. It does. Everyone buy it. I question if the live action as animated voice cast is gonna work because that route kind of short changes voice actors. Maybe. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like a lot of voice actors start doing acting first, right? Like Tara Strong has been able to now cross over and do both. She started off doing acting, got into voice acting, but now she's starting to show up in live action stuff again. I believe Sam Witwer is the same deal. And there's someone else I have in my head. Clancy Brown. He's the other one, right? He's been bouncing back and forth as well. So it might shortchange some, but I think there's potential for the opportunity now for even some voice actors to hop over as well. I'm hoping. That's me being very, very generous. Tom Chen, thank you for hanging out, Tom Chen. What do we think of the chances we'll see a Darkseid Destroyer? Oh, I want to see. Okay, I hope so. I hope we get that, and I want the Darkseid, like his layer playset that was originally supposed to come out with the original line as well. I would love that. Shiny plastic people, time for voice actors to become more handsome. Oh, dude, come on, like that's not nice. Will Schmidt. I guess I'm so late. I might have missed this. It's okay. You're here now. Did you vote for? Oh, right. Yes. Did you vote for Trunks or no Trunks for Soups over Gunn's Twitter? I voted for Trunks. You kidding me? That's like having a Coca-Cola bottle with no red on it. Come on. Let's get real here. Derek Hoover, non-DC related but toy haul wise. My frogmongers arrive tomorrow. From that line that's dying. The Motu Frogmonger. Congratulations on getting one, by the way. I heard that those went pretty fast. So congratulations on getting that. The 80s experience. I just imagine Todd himself driving trucks from store to store to make sure Superpowers is well stocked. I believe that's what he's doing with everything. I think he's got like an army of people making sure this stuff hits the shelves. Chris DeHorty, I'm still waiting on my 89 Keaton from Mezco. It was just an anniversary recently. Matt Bush, my Target got storage shells, but not the Bebop and Krang Wave. Oh yeah, I haven't seen those either. Yeah, that's a good fair point. The 80s experience from hey, what is the Build-A-Figure that comes with the Nolan Wave from McFarlane? You know what? I actually don't know. I don't know what the Build-A-Figure is. He's been announcing one every day this week. Right? Or at least he started yesterday. Because he announced Batman, he announced Two-Face. We know that Joker's coming. I have no idea. Maybe I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out together. 80s experience. Derek Hoover. Yeah, both our targets have been the same. We got some good showings so far in stock. Yeah, like right. You just gotta. That's the whole part of the hunt, right? Harry, Central Indiana has the Vampire Eradicator and the new wave of superpowers showing up now. So if you're in Central Indiana, folks, go get them, right? Krista Horty and Mark Hamill went that route, as well as actor and voice actor. Absolutely. The dude's still a legend, right? Thunderhausen, if I would die if McFarlane released the Tower of Darkness. Me too. That's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you. See, the chat's always here to save my ass. I would also love to see Fortress of Solitude, maybe a whole new Batcave with a giant penny and a dinosaur. Oh, just give it all to me, man. Derek Hoover, I really want to see some superpower sublines that Toy Otter had on his website years ago. I live on that site. I agree. And that's why I was thinking of like make the Oa play set, make the Fortress of Solitude, make the Bat Cave, do all of that. All of it. Give me all of it, right? Absolutely. Thunderhausen. They haven't revealed the Build-A-Figure yet, just Anya and Two-Face so far. Good to know. Thank you, Thunderhausen. Justin, off topic. How about that 2-pack vintage collection with Kenobi, with Vader, with damage, with the damaged Vader? I absolutely all for it. And I actually like the other Vader that they released, that they showcased today too, with the removable helmet and with the two parts. We didn't get any new figures. It's all figures we already have. But I'm not gonna lie, like that new Han Solo looks great. That Darth Vader looks great. The pipeline was I mean, yeah, like I said, like we're getting 2-packs and stuff now too. Bring it on. I am more than happy about that. And it has me wondering too. Sometimes when there's multi-packs, they're an exclusive. So we'll have to keep our ears peeled for that. Harry, I believe they said Bane is the Build-A-Figure, hoping it's not to the scale. Seems small for a Build-A-Figure. Harry, I'm going to say this. Not every Build-A-Figure has to be a giant Build-A-Figure. It's nice when they are, but I don't believe they have to be. If we can get even a Build-A-Figure that was just like Rachel, I mean, they've never made a Rachel, but if you wanted a Rachel, imagine having to buy everybody so you could get the Rachel. That would complete your collection. I believe that would be a great payoff. And I don't think everything has to be giant, but I think we've been too tainted by Marvel. The Marvel team has this thing now. It's like, how big can we make it and fit in these packages? And I think we need to take a step back, reevaluate, and what makes a character exclusive enough that we would want it, that would make us buy an entire wave. It makes me think of Thor from Endgame. Fat Thor. I don't know what else to call him. I know that sounds really shitty and body shamey. Chinese plastic people, the 66 play sets look all right with superpowers. You know what? That's why I bought them to put with my superpowers. The 80s experience. Take one of those JP shelf warmer dinosaurs, put it in the Batcave. I agree. That's actually not a bad idea. Derek Hoover, the art for the Batcave? Yes. Right? Let's get it. Thunderhausen. Those are supposed to be bats. I don't know why it autocorrected to Anya. I was just like, I just believed you, man. I was like, they probably announced something I've never heard of. It happens. Tom Chen, the new Vader looks great. I thought it was Black Series at first. I honestly believe that Vintage Collection is catching up with Black Series. For anyone that doesn't know or might be new, I am not a big fan of the Black Series. I find it to be a redundant line. Even if you look over my shoulder, yes, that is a shelf of Black Series, because I do love Star Wars. But I prefer the smaller scale. You get to do more world building, vehicles, that kind of stuff. And let's face it, the Black Series failed us. And their fans, the collectors of Black Series, failed us when they couldn't get a Rancor. I'm just being cheeky. Ryan B. The cool thing about Gunn is any wacky ideas I can picture him doing and doing well. Same here. Agreed. Thunderhausen. I want one of those Hammond Collection T-Rexes just for a Batcave display. Yeah, now that you said it, I want it. I need that. I just got to find it now. Krista Horty, the Vader exclusive pulls Craig back into collecting Black Series. You heard it here first. I think he's okay. I think he is going to cherry pick here and there. I can't see him not doing it. And plus, I think that's a Celebration exclusive. So he'd have to go to Europe to go get it. Though, granted, if they're just doing the scan thing and it takes you to the website or the app that doesn't work in Canada, they got to fix that. Look, you got me sad commenting again. God damn it. Derek Hoover, Lebowski floor. Thank you. That was the term we were all calling it. Harry would love if Gordon or Alfred was a Build-A-Figure. Those are great ideas for Build-A-Figures, right? And Justin, this is going to be my last comment for the night, and then we're going to get into it, and I'm going to head out. It's been an hour. We've done a lot of streaming this week, so I need to make sure I keep myself collected. This is from Justin Nicolosi. I know you hate the Black Series, but I'm looking forward to the 2-pack of Luke and Grogu. Dude, I am, as Geek Dad Life puts it, I am not going to yuck your yum. If you want to collect Black Series, collect Black Series. Collect what makes you happy. If you want to collect every Batman from Batman Metal, go for it. If you want to collect superpowers, go for it. You want to collect Black Series, go for it. Gem and the Holograms, buy them, right? Buy what makes you happy. The moment it stops making you happy and you start getting frustrated, that's when you need to take a step back, take a deep breath, reevaluate, and reconsider what your purchases are, right? I know I said I was going to end here, right? Anyone know where I can get a 1/12 scale penny? Dude, print one. Get a 3D printer. Someone's got to have a 3D printer. Someone's got to start printing them. Lifelong toy collector. You're late, but you're here. I'm just about to head out. I'm actually really liked Mattel's Build-A-Figure Bat single. That same here. I think that's another great thing to have, right? And Thunderhausen. Great stuff. Thank you. Yes, viva la DCU. So thank you everyone who's hanging out with me tonight. I hope we all got to get this off our chest. I hope we all got to open some toys and be super excited. And for what's coming out. Again, it's going to be probably a couple more weeks. I think Lexi's getting a whole new setup, computer, the whole bit. She doesn't even have one right now. But I'm certain she is coming back. And then we can go dive into all those wonderful things. Because I know she wants to still talk comics. We got to hear her opinion on all this stuff too. And trust me, she's got big feelings about Damian, as we all know. Right. So, that's what it's all about. All of us hanging out here, loving this stuff, being excited. There's no reason why we can't be positive and just enjoy this new DC stuff. We are all accustomed to change at this point. I'm certain the majority of this audience has all been through it, where we've all had to deal with comics, toy lines, just changing and evolving, or getting canceled, right? We've all been there. And, I think the best thing to do is just look forward to the next step, the next thing to get excited and be thankful for. And even though it does feel like a long wait, we've got the Flash this year. We do have Aquaman coming. We have Blue Beetle coming as well. So, I mean, James Gunn's given those all the props. Let's trust him. Let's go in with an open mind, and again, thank you so much. And this is a good point too. Don't let your hobbies make you like what's his face. Let it make you a geek dad, right? I'm absolutely here, right? Thank you guys so much. Thank you all so much for hanging out. You know what? We're almost at 500 subscribers here. We're halfway to 1,000. Once we get to 1,000 as well, I'll do one big massive giveaway as well. So don't, share this if you like this, if you enjoy this, if you're watching for the first time, you enjoyed it, just hanging out, talking DC, give it a subscribe. Also, like I said, share the channel. Would love to help build a community where we just have folks who just love this stuff, who love comics, who love the toys, who love the movies, who love the cartoons. This is a place for us to hang out, chill out, and talk about this stuff. And I love doing it. Right. So Awesome. So thank you all again. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for watching on the replay, and have a good night, Gotham.